What's up, guys? Donovan here, Martial Arts Business Made Easy, and today I'm going to talk about how we went from basically 2 schools to 7 schools in the last 3 years. Okay, so hopefully this video is helpful. If you don't know who we are, again, obviously we went from 2 schools to 7 schools in the last 3 years. We're going to do about $4 million in revenue this year, and I really just want to share the journey that we've been on, right? I make these videos ultimately for the community. I hope people in our industry get value out of it, but also I'm excited just for myself to be selfish here, is to look at it, in the future and see what I was thinking about at that time and what was going through my mind and the challenges that I was facing during that time in business, and then hopefully keep growing, right? So again, fast forward, now we're opening our 7th location, but if we rewind back to COVID happening, we just opened our 2nd location, and that location was doing great. It was rocking and rolling. We had our first primary location that had been open, I think, like 7 years at the time. But we just opened our 2nd location, and then COVID hit. So just like most people in our industry, we got decimated. I mean, to give you an example, those 2 locations in February of 2020 did about $120,000 in revenue, and then in March I think we did like $30,000 in revenue, and then by April $0. Right, we're negative. But I'm proud to say during that time I kept on all my full-timers. During that time they all still got paid, and I'm very thankful that we did that because they're still here with us today and we're still growing and expanding. So number one, I think just make sure your team is appreciated and you take care of your team, because to build anything worth having, you're going to need people, right? So whether that's your team, you need people, you need students, those are people, you need their parents to pay you, right? That's people. So we need to get really good at managing and working with people and being in the relationship business, because ultimately as business owners, we're in the relationship business. But to tell our entire story, about 11 years ago, I first started teaching just outdoors in the park here in Charleston. And then obviously I was dependent on the weather. So I got a couple days at a rec center. I taught 2 days a week at a rec center. And after being open about 6 months, I only had about 7 students, but I knew that no one was going to take me serious if I didn't get a physical brick and mortar location. So I signed my first lease almost 11 years ago. And it was only 1,000 square feet, and it was about $10,000 to open. So I didn't have a lot of money at the time. That's basically all the money I had. I put up a couple mirrors, 2 mirrors on the wall, painted all the walls white, just like most people do. Ordered some mats, put them down myself, and then we just opened up for classes. Okay, but that was a great start, a humbling start. I learned a ton during that time, but how I opened that first location is very, very different than how we open our locations now and how we've been able to scale super quickly. So I think number one, if you want to have either one massively successful school or you want to have multiple schools, 10, 20 schools, I don't know how to open 20 yet. I'm on the way, but we're opening number 7 right now. We've already earmarked opening 3 more locations next year in 2024, and I'm excited to share the journey with you guys, document everything. But I think what it starts with is identifying the vision. So I knew at first I wanted one brick and mortar school, but once I got my feet wet, I got the entrepreneur bug. I wanted to open more schools and own more locations and help more people, right? I believe what we do is super just impactful for the next generation, right? We're doing a lot for our community that other sports just doesn't include, right? All the character development, all the perseverance, the strength training, like all of it. What we do is so great, and I think it's important to share with our community. So we have a duty, I believe, to help as many people as we possibly can. So once I caught that bug, I was like, I want to go to 5, because I identified 5 spots around my Charleston area, and I said I want to have 5 locations. And I didn't open another location for 7 years. Right, so it took a long time. I was very patient, aggressively working towards my goals, but knowing that it does take patience, and I just wasn't ready yet. But identifying the vision, right? What do you want your business to look like? Do you want one very successful school? Do you want one school that just supports your lifestyle, that maybe you don't have to be in? You can be an absentee owner, you can pop in and teach the classes you want to teach, but you're not a slave to the business, right? You actually own the business. You don't own a job, and that's great. Where we're at right now, we want to expand not only in Charleston, but outside of Charleston. And then our community's grown. So again, years ago I wanted 5 schools because those are the areas that I identified. But now we're opening number 7 because we've identified new areas that have popped up, right? Areas grow, new communities, new neighborhoods, and those were areas where we want to be at. So identify the vision. What does that look like for you? What's the student count? Right, so that's another thing, is a lot of people think I want to own another school because I'm going to make more money, and that's just not always the case. You need to get as clear as you possibly can about the vision you want for your business. For us, we know that when we open a new location, we need to be somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet. For us, that's the sweet spot. And even deeper than that, we do after schools, programs, summer camps, and martial arts classes. We want 110 Taekwondo students. I want 45 after schoolers, and I want to have 45 kids per week for summer camp. And that's it. That's what we do. For us, that school is full, and then we just move on. Also, our schedule. We consider life a life for our staff, right? So what does life look like? We only operate classes Monday through Thursday. Friday, we do the after-school program or summer camp, depending on the time of the year, but we don't have classes. And then Saturdays and Sundays, we're closed. So we think about lifestyle with our not only our members, but our staff as well. Okay, so what do you want your business to look like? What do you want your week to look like? And build a business around your lifestyle. Right? What do you enjoy doing? Because if you're a slave to your business, you're not going to enjoy it. Ultimately, it's going to lead to burnout, and you're just not going to enjoy it. You're going to have resentment against your business, which maybe we've all been there before. I know I've been there before. I wanted to be out on Saturday with friends on the boat, but I got to go teach these 5 classes on Saturday, right? So what we did was we decided to switch it up, and we designed a business around the lifestyle of our head instructors and our staff. Okay. Another thing to think about is, where do you want to be? So for me, like I said, I identified 5 pockets. Now we're at 7 pockets. But where do you want to be? Where's your avatar? The person. If you think about your best students, right? The best parents you enjoy talking to, the best students you enjoy teaching, where are they at? Right? Where do they go to school? Where do they shop? Where do they live? We just need to find more of those people. Find your best students. Talk to them. Take them to lunch. Take them to dinner. Grab a beer with a dad, and just pick their brain about things they enjoy doing. And get to know them a little bit better, and then find their friends, and then we need to bring their friends into our program. But where are those people? Where is our avatar at? And what's the demographic, right? How much money do they make? How much disposable income do they have, right? Just because some areas have high earning potential does not mean they have a lot of disposable income. We've noticed that here in the Charleston area. All right, and then once you've identified where you want to be, obviously it takes people, right? So who's going to teach all the classes? You can't be in 2 places at one time, so who's going to be teaching these classes for you? And then once we've identified these people, how are we going to train them, right? What does training look like for that person? And how do we know they're ready to open a school? And even before that, how do we know they're ready to even lead the warm-up in class, right? There needs to be a systemized process to find and identify good, talented people, bring them on your team, and then expand. And that's completely, to be honest, that's how we've grown as fast as we have. It's not because of me and I'm smart, right? I'm not smarter than anyone watching this video, but I do think that I have been able to identify some key people, some key players, bring them on our team, and allow them to be great. Just allow them to be themselves. Right? When you're running your school, you're probably the best person there. You might be the best instructor, you might be the best salesman, you might be both of the best, right? But imagine if you had 3 of you or 5 of you. How much better would your business be? How much faster could it grow? How much bigger could it grow? Right? So people are the key. People, finding great people is the key to any successful business. But once we find these people, we need to have something to offer them, right? For us, it's typically 6 figures. We let people know, hey, we want you on our team. Here's the lifestyle you're going to have. You're going to work short days on Fridays. You got weekends off, and our goal is to get you to $100,000 as quickly as possible. And we tie them to the business, right? The quote might be golden handcuffs, right? Golden handcuffs. As the business grows, they make more and more money. There is no stop on our head instructors' earning potential. They can earn as much money as they want as long as that business keeps growing. Okay. Another thing is capital. When we first opened, again, I was in 1,000 square feet, small. Like I said, I painted the walls white, put down some mats, and called it a day. I spent $10,000 to getting that thing open. Now, fast forward, 11 years later, we spent about $100,000 to $130,000 opening each location. So what that looks like, it's about $100,000 in build out and about $30,000 in a bankroll. So just savings for the business, because everything doesn't always work out according to plans, right? So we have some savings in the business, and then that first year, we don't take any money. We don't take a single dollar out of the business. We know that we're going to open the business. We have operating capital. Our goal is to grow it as much as we possibly can. Ideally, we want to fill our locations to those metrics I spoke on earlier, and then month 13 is when we start taking out owner draws. And then that's it. So once that business is about 6 months in, and as long as it is on track to finish the year capped out, we go ahead and start earmarking another location to open and expand our program. And then set a timeline. When do you want it to happen? For us, again, we know for 12 months we're not taking a single penny out of the business. For that first 6 months, it's all hands on deck. We're growing the heck out of that business. And as long as they have hit the metrics, we know that we are ready to open another location. So we have a clear timeline. Not only do we know the vision, we know where we want to be, we know who our avatar is, we know how we're going to market to those people, and we even know when we're going to open the location next. Okay, this is very simple, right? I'm probably oversimplifying it for everyone here, but it is challenging. As you know, running one location is challenging. Running 7 locations, I will tell you, is not 7 times as hard. Okay, it's only, to be honest, I work less now than I did when I had one location, to be completely honest. I just do different work. But again, why? Because we have talented people on our team. We have hardworking people on the team that are willing to do whatever it takes, that are willing to sacrifice to grow the business, because most of them are tied to the business. So as the business grows, they do better. This year we're on track to do $4 million, and that's about $1.6 million in net profit. That does not all go to me, the business owner. That gets divvied up amongst our head instructors. So not only do they get the salary, they're able to purchase into their business as well. So we've built in the buyer, the ultimate person that will own that location at the end. And I'm excited that we have our number 7 location opening right now, and we've already earmarked 3 locations for next year. And I'm very excited to document this entire process. Again, selfishly, because I just want to see, I want to document the process, and I want to be able to watch this years later and see again where I was thinking and what I was thinking at that time in my entrepreneurial journey. But I'm excited for you. So hopefully you get something out of this, that this is informational for you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to document the process, and hopefully this helps. And if you have any questions, comment below. Happy to help. Thanks for watching.